to my page. Today I'm going to be teaching you about how I fix Storm's shouldering problem. Storm used to really anticipate going into the barrels, and she would drop her shoulder into the barrel and knock it like 5 times out of 10. It was not a fun time. I think we came out of every barrel race literally with a knocked barrel. Coming up to a barrel, I'm gonna practice this every single time, whether I'm walking, trotting, loping, running. I want her nose tipped into the inside of the barrel. And I'll show you, I'll kind of make her do the wrong thing here. What happens if her nose is tipped this way? If her nose is tipped to the outside, automatically, like if I lift her up this way, what's happening with that shoulder? She's literally dropping right into that barrel. Like if you pick up the outside rein there and you push them that way, you're just moving their shoulder right into the barrel. And it's a real hard thing to fix if your horse has that problem by themselves. Like if that's a habit they created where they're running to the barrel and you're having to lift them up like this and their faces are just the wrong way. I'm gonna tell you, it takes a long time to fix that problem. So practicing from the right way, right from the start, has been a big lesson of mine to learn. So every time I head into a barrel, I'm gonna pick up that inside rein. I'm gonna push with my inside foot a little bit, and I'm gonna ask her to tip that nose in. Because if her nose is right here, it's literally impossible for her to knock her body into this barrel. So you really wanna see the inside of their nose. And what I do when I'm going to each barrel, even when I'm running, I'm looking at her face to see where her body's at, but I wanna tip her nose in just enough that I can see the outside of like her eye and see her eyelashes. It doesn't matter. I want to be able to see her nose, because if she's prepared and set up for that, she can't drop her shoulder. So if I'm on her, if she's tipped in here, we're just gonna keep her tipped all the way around and then get off of her face. Let her go. With Storm, it took a long time to fix her shouldering issue because she would just anticipate that turn and she would drop super early. And you can really see where I'm trying to like overcorrect and pushing her the completely wrong way. And it was kind of a 50-50. It was her fault and it was my fault because I was really trying to pull her off of it, but pulling her in the wrong way. So it took a lot of slow work. And what I really had to do to keep her from anticipating, I would trot right up to the point with her nose tipped in, and I would get her past this barrel here, make her stop and make her wait. I want her mind completely off of the barrels, but I want her body set up in a way that she can still completely turn around right here and still make that turn. But I worked on this, I can't even, probably every day for weeks when we were having this problem. I didn't enter her. I would just trot her up to this point, tipped in correctly, make her stop, and make her understand you don't turn until I tell you to turn. You're not anticipating the turns. I'm the one here telling you when you should turn. And I feel like it's a really big problem with a lot of horses, that anticipation, and they start the turn very early. And I don't think it's typically a rider error. I think it's just horses, they understand. You know, she goes into the arena knowing exactly what her job is. Get her mind off of that turn, telling her, hey, I don't want you to turn until I tell you it's time to turn. I'm the boss here, not you. And then ask her for that turn. Nose tipped in. You can kind of see I can literally do this one-handed with her now because I've done it so many times, and it is not a fun problem to fix. It takes a very long time of the same thing over and over and over again, but I'll show you how I do the entire pattern when I do it. If you're having a lot of problems going to the first barrel, I feel like that's typically angle. I like to come at it kind of like a J hook. But we're gonna keep the nose tipped in. We're gonna head right for the fence, stop with her body straight. Give her a second to kind of think about what I'm asking, make her wait, and then ask her to turn. Nose tipped in to the second barrel, same thing. If she's prepared and set up for this turn, she's gonna turn it a lot better. So I'm gonna make sure I can see her eyelashes, and then straight to the fence, ask her to stop. And here you can see I'm kind of stopping her right when, like the distance away is not what I'm concerned about, but you can see right where I am. This is kind of where I'd ask her to turn. I want her to be past the barrel before she starts turning. So we're gonna make her wait, make her get her mind off of the barrel and off of the turn, and then tip her nose in, ask her to turn. Get her super bendy around this, lift up her nose, really put some pressure in on this side of the body, ask her for a trot, and tip her nose in. So you're really gonna be lifting this inside rein. Keep her nose tipped, head straight for the fence, ask her for a stop, get her mind off of that turn, get her away from anticipating, and if she steps, then I'm just gonna move her shoulders back over and just make her sit patiently and wait. And if you have a horse that's impatient, just keep them waiting. Keep getting them in the right spot, make them wait, and don't let them keep anticipating that turn. I feel like the person that you can really see this best with is Trisha Aldridge on Adios Pantalones. And when you watch her run, literally at a full-on run, to each barrel, you can see the outside of her horse's eye. So she's keeping that horse's nose tipped in really well, and she's really setting up her horse for a really beautiful turn. A lot of horses, especially even at the top, you can see their heads are completely the wrong way, and the rider really has to work to get the horse tipped in the right way to get them to make a turn without hitting the barrel. So if you really want to get a feel for how it looks on your horse, go look at her page. But I can't even tell you guys how many times it took of me doing this over and over and over again to get her to stop shouldering and anticipating, because I think it was like 6 months. Every time I'd get out of a race, she had knocked a barrel because she had anticipated, dropped her shoulder, and I, as a rider, was not properly setting her up. So this is what I did: walked it, trotted it, loped it every single day for months and months and months, until she finally understood, oh, okay, I get what I'm doing. I get what you're asking me now. And I mean, it takes a lot of time when you teach them the wrong way to correct them. So if you're just starting, definitely always ride this way and make sure that you have their nose picked up, turned to the inside of that barrel. That way you're never having any issues with shouldering. But Storm's doing really well. I haven't had any shouldering issues on her in a long time, but I still like to work this exercise pretty often. And when I work the barrels, I make sure that she's always tipped the right way. If you're having any troubles, this is my favorite shouldering exercise. But good luck, let me know how it goes. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming to my page. As always, if you have any questions, throw them in the comments. I'd love to answer them. Have a wonderful day. Bye.